Hello everyone, this is 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀 from Pageant Empress, and in this video I have a special guest with me. She's a delegate of Miss Universe Thailand 2022, Nicole Glucksman or Nikki. Hello Nikki, สวัสดีครับ. How are you?
I'm excited to be here. This is actually my first interview I'm doing for this pageant, so very excited. You're the first one to get all the scopes, all the details.
I'm so happy to finally talk to you and just get to know a little bit more about you because you really impressed me during the audition, especially during the keyword challenge. I think you did a really good job. You almost got 2 out of 3 points by the judges. So you almost got the golden tiara. You were just so close to it.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Honestly, I'll be honest, I didn't think I did that well on the keyword. And so when I came out and they were like, you almost got golden tiara, I was like, yeah. Really? We didn't know about the grading system though, or how it was going to work. So we were just picked at random and we were told like, you know, you're going to get a keyword, but we had no idea about the grading criteria or how it was going to be scored for the golden tiara. We only knew that the judges had to have like 80% support.
Before we start this interview, I want you to introduce yourself in the Miss Universe style. So by saying your first name, age, and Thailand.
My name is Nikki Nicole Glucksman, 24, from Thailand.
Where did you grow up and what is your education background?
So I was born in Hong Kong. I lived there for 12, almost 13 years. And then I moved to Bangkok when I was 13 and went to ISB. I graduated from my high school in 2016. And then I moved to New York where I attended New York University and studied music business and graduated valedictorian of my program.
As you have lived abroad in the USA, how has your life in New York City been different in comparison to now that you currently live in Thailand?
The biggest culture shock I experienced there was the lack of cultural awareness, I would say. I would go to New York, and New York, is one of the most international cities in the world. And I got asked once a week, oh, you're Thai? Can you speak some Taiwanese for me? And so having to deal with that sort of cultural dismissal or not being aware of Thai culture, Thai food, or like even where Thailand is, I think was the biggest struggle I had when I moved to America. But I would say to my friends, a lot of them were either Filipino, Hong Kong Chinese, Korean. And so it was nice having that community in New York too, because NYU is a very diverse school.
Do you have any special talent?
I sing. I've been singing in the choir since I was, I think, 3 or 4 years old in Hong Kong. And I've been singing to this day. I also dance. I do art. I did IB art in high school. So my main focus was photography and sculpture. And what else do I do? I've acted a little bit. I was in first grade. I was Pinocchio in Pinocchio. And I think that was the debut of like, I knew I needed to be on stage. And I also did hairspray at my high school at ISB, and I'm really into video editing, photography. I would always go to the sports events and I would get to go on the like really tall stage where you could like shoot things from above. So I would do that a lot and video edit as well. All my music videos, I think all except one, I've edited myself. And so I love the video editing process, like being in a dark room with my like tea and snacks and a hoodie for 8 hours. I know most people find editing the least fun part, but for me, I love it.
I would really like to hear you sing your beautiful voice, maybe your song. 1 or 2 lines from your song would be great.
This song is called Feel So Alive, and it's about, during COVID, how it was really hard not to travel anywhere, as well as it brings mindfulness on the world and how we should be more mindful about global warming and our planet. Because when I'm with you, I feel so alive. Nothing's on my mind. Lost in space and time.
What does the new slogan of Miss Universe, beautifully confident, mean to you?
Being yourself. I think when you know yourself, and that's something that's really important in the Miss Universe pageant, especially during the interview rounds, like when you know yourself, you can be beautifully confident, because when you practice mindfulness and when you're taking time to journal, taking time to reflect and spend quality time with yourself, not on your phone, not on social media, not watching TV, that's when you can really shine and come out of your shell.
Have you competed in any other beauty pageants before joining Miss Universe Thailand?
No, this is my first time, actually. I've never done any sort of beauty pageants before. I do have, I guess, speaking experience from TEDx NYU. I was the president of TEDx back in university. And so I would have to MC some events, obviously host annual weekly meetings with my team. And so that gave me a lot of public speaking practice. Also just singing on stage, dancing on stage, acting on stage, that I guess made me very used to being present, if that makes sense, and not zoning out, I think is really important when, especially doing pageants.
How is your preparations going towards Miss Universe Thailand? Are you part of any team or group who's helping you or supporting you towards preparing for Miss Universe Thailand? Please talk about your team.
So I have a few people on my team. First is my manager, Jace. We've known each other since we were 12, and she's been my manager for the last 2 years now. She helped me with all of my music. She's also my producer, my best friend. And so she's part of my team and helping me with scheduling all of these interviews. I know you talked with her a little bit. Second is my walk-in coach, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And we met, funnily enough, I did a commercial for Mazda, my first commercial. So I started doing more acting work last year. And I met up with the casting director afterwards for dinner, and her friend was there named Hiro. And he introduced me to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 because he was like, you are stunning. Why don't you try pageants? I know you were thinking about it because you just saw Anne win. Like, just try a few classes and see how it works out. So then that's how I met 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. And then the next people on my team are Yoshi. His name's Yoshi. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? And he's my hairstylist who I met at the Mazda commercial, as well as 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who he is a friend of Yoshi's as well, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is also a friend of Yoshi's. I basically asked Yoshi, I was like, do you have anyone that you know who would be willing to help with makeup this month, help with hair this month, help with styling? And so PMAC as well is on my team, and they're all super welcoming and really kind.
Who is your favorite Miss Universe Thailand winner and why?
I think Anne is probably one of my biggest inspirations because of her message. It was so unique and so inspiring. I think especially a lot of people in Southeast Asia need to hear about that message because body positivity is pretty relatively new, I would say, as well as Maria and Amanda, I would say too, are two really big inspirations.
Thailand is known as the land of smiles. What does the word Thai mean to you?
When I think of the word 𝗧𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗵, I think of mindfulness. I think of gratitude. You know, when people are stressed, usually the response is 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗵นะคะ. So for us to, take a deep breath, relax, be present, be grateful, that's something that I find very important. And I think a lot of people in Thailand find very important. So I'd say this way of thinking is what I associate with when I hear the word Thai.
Can you talk about your advocacy project and why did you select this particular topic as your project?
I moved to Thailand. I joined this club called Operation Smile, which helps local people in Thailand as well as around the world, especially in Southeast Asia, help receive free cleft lip and cleft palate surgeries. And so this was a club I was involved in for 7 years. And I was the president of Operation Smile by my senior year and I was, I guess, the leader or the representative of my school to host our annual color run, which we did for 4 years. And over the 4 years, we raised 6 million baht, which helped provide over 500 surgeries for children locally here in Thailand. I think for me, the most important thing is local philanthropy versus more international scale philanthropy like voluntourism. I think seeing the direct impact and being able to go on these missions as well, spend time with the children and their families is something that's really important to me. And so hosting the color run too was also a lot of fun. Aside from that, when I was in New York, I would go to Harlem and volunteer at soup kitchens a lot, especially my first 2 years in college.
You have already accomplished so many incredible achievements in your life so far. What made you decide to join Miss Universe Thailand pageant?
An insecurity I've had about my body is I've always had a big waist. I swam till I was 13 every day, 6 times a week. And so that naturally made me have a larger rib cage, and you can't really shrink your rib cage. And so as much as I would work on my waist, I would say I have a good side profile in terms of my body, but I was always insecure about the front. And when you're walking, especially in a swimsuit, everyone sees your waist. I don't have the hourglass figure. No matter how much I work out every day. I dance so frequently. I'm happy with my body. I love my body. And seeing Anne go on stage and talk about how this body positivity needs to be brought to this international level is what inspired me to join. And body positivity is something I've always been really a big advocate for as well. I was an American Eagle 𝗟𝗴𝗂𝗂 body positivity ambassador when I was in New York. So just making sure to spread awareness, spread positive vibes.
What is one piece of advice that you would like to give to young girls who aspire to be beauty queens?
I think staying curious and allowing ourselves, daring ourselves to dream, daring ourselves to say, you know what? Maybe I can do this, you know? I didn't think that I would be an artist distributed through Universal, let alone a contestant top 30 at Miss Universe Thailand. Ask any of my friends. I was known as like the sporty geek in high school. And so to be here where I am now, just because I stayed curious and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try this. Try everything. Letting yourself feel uncomfortable, while it can not feel so great, it really helps you grow as a person. And so that's what I would say to young girls. Stay curious. Anything you want to try, whether it's pageants, whether it's a new sport, a new hobby, a new career, go for it, because it could be the best decision you've ever made.
What is the one quality do you like the most about yourself?
And I think I got this from my mom, is altruism. I know that in saying you're altruistic, it almost defeats the purpose of altruism, but I strive to be as altruistic as possible. Treating each other the way we want to be treated is something super important. So even during the pageant, you know, if someone's shoes undone, if there maybe a strap is showing, I always want to be helping those so that we can all be the best versions of ourselves. Obviously, we're in a competition, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be helping those to be the best that they can be. And so I would say that's my favorite quality of myself and something I really try to stick by every single day.
If you can have a lunch with one famous person in the history, who would it be and why?
It would probably be Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because how she changed the world in terms of her advocacy, providing education, helping reform so much in the United States as a Supreme Court justice. I think I would love to get dinner with her because she's also a fellow sorority sister of mine, and she's done so much for the women all around the US, and she's very inspirational. And so I would say I would want to get lunch with her.
What has been the biggest challenge in your life and how did you overcome it?
The biggest challenge I experienced just in life in general is not letting nerves get to me when things are out of my control. I would say that's always been something I've needed to be really mindful of. For example, if I hosted a TEDx event and maybe the food is not arriving on time or the speaker is late, all of these things would give me so much stress. But then I'd have to learn to just let it go. Same thing with pageants, with the keywords. We didn't know which keyword we were going to get, but instead of letting myself feel stressed about it, I just took a deep breath, studied as much as I can. And on the day of, we were just going to breathe, meditate, be mindful.
If you can teach one class in school, which subject would it be and why?
Fun fact, actually my best subject growing up was math. Very random. But yeah, it was my highest IB score and I was so shocked. But I would obviously love to teach music. I think music would be really, really fun because then I could teach choir, individual classes, as well as do or help with musical theater productions. And so I would say music, you know, sticking to what I know and what I think I do best.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
I see myself here in Thailand, obviously. I think I've made it my home again after university. It was always my home, of course, but when you're spending so much time away, it's hard. And so I see myself here pursuing music still and hopefully singing, dancing, and acting, I would say are the three things I would love to do. Modeling and commercial work is also super fun. Anything where I get to be creative. It'd be cool to do some photography again, to maybe some sculpture classes when I have time again. But I would say I see myself doing those things in 5 years from now, maybe another pageant in the future, but I'm just focusing on this one for now.
Who is your biggest inspiration in your life and what is the reason behind it?
My mom raised me and my sibling as a single mom. And when we moved to Thailand, we moved here and my dad stayed in Hong Kong. And I saw him maybe once or twice a month, but seeing her go from, you know, she grew up very poor and lived in a factory for most of her life to going to the US by herself, one-way ticket, living in LA and then Palo Alto for 5 years to go to university there, and then go to Hong Kong, work at Citibank, work at UBS, work her way up to now like a senior level position at her company right now. And on top of that, being an entrepreneur selling children's clothes. So me and my sibling got to model for them when we were younger. Just seeing her be able to do all that, but also just be a very kind, humble, well-spoken woman, it really inspired me. Like, women in my family, most of my family is girls. Fun fact, I have 2 male cousins and then the rest are women. And so growing up in that community, being so close to my mom, being so close to my sibling, we became very tight knit. And so I look up to my mom in so many ways that, she even pushed me to do this pageant. I wear her clothes when I do this pageant. The red dress I wore the other day was hers from back in the 80s.
Wow.
So I look up to her a lot, and she sacrificed so much for us. And it takes a lot of responsibility and a lot of sacrifice to raise 2 kids as a single mother. So I would say her.
Let's say if I was a genie and I can grant you 3 wishes, what wishes will you ask for and why?
I would say the first wish I would want is for everyone's needs to be met. I think making sure that everyone has a roof over their heads, making sure everyone has clean water to drink, food, education, if that's possible to include in terms of the definition of needs. I would say that's my first wish, because I think the wealth gap is getting bigger, and it's something that really needs to be addressed all around the world so that we ensure that no one gets left behind. When I was in 𝗏𝗶𝗏𝗀𝗏, I went back in December with my family. I saw a lot of trash in the water, and this is one of those beaches, one of those oceans that, there are black-tip reef sharks, there's so much coral, there's so much beautiful nature there. And then we would see styrofoam, we would see plastic bottles, because people would come on tailboats and leave their like finished water bottle on the side. And if the wind comes, it just sweeps it out, And so when we were there, a lot of the people around us were snorkeling. I got our paddleboard and I just went and picked up trash for an hour and a half. And I even posted photos of it on my Instagram, because I was like, this needs to stop happening, because it's important for us to understand, if we want to enjoy nature's beauties, we need to take care of the earth. That's something that's super important. Traveling is great, but we also have to make sure that we're not destroying or harming the planet while we're trying to enjoy new experiences. My last wish would be for everyone to be happy, whatever that definition means to them, including myself, because I think happiness is what we all strive for in life, whether it's through love, whether it's through success. I think having global happiness would make me very happy.
What is the definition of success to you, Nikki? What does success mean to you?
Having enough money to support myself, or having enough income to support myself, being surrounded by amazing people who lift you up and don't suck out the energy from you, which I have here, and I'm very, very grateful for, honestly, my community, and loving what I do. I think as long as I keep doing what I'm doing now, which is singing, trying new things like the pageant, going to dance classes, painting when I can, I'm gonna be happy. I think right now at 24, I might not have the most money in the world, but I'm happy, and I think that's success for me.
Is social media bringing people together or causing separation?
With social media, we have to be mindful. I think when we stay on the positive side of social media, it can be a good thing, because social media gives us connectivity. It connects us to friends all around the world. As someone who's lived in multiple places, I'm grateful for social media, because it keeps me in touch with my friends who I maybe haven't seen for 5-10 years, but I'm able to communicate with them through that platform. However, I also know that there is a more negative side to social media, and with that, we can control what we see. And so I think it's all of our own responsibilities to take care of our mental health. And so if we see something we don't like, if there's a rabbit hole we don't want to go down, we should stop ourselves. I've even caught myself doing that sometimes too, where I get into a negative rabbit hole, and then I feel like I'm in a bad mood all day, and my friends will ask me, why are you upset? And I'm like, oh, it's because I spent 2 hours on my phone scrolling. Let's not do that anymore,
What is the biggest challenge youth are facing today?
I would say ignorance, because it's a very broad word that encompasses a lot of the issues that we're experiencing right now, whether it's in politics, social media, being aware, staying educated, and it relates to treating each other the way you want to be treated. If you're going to be ignorant, you're negatively impacting someone's life in a lot of ways. And so I would say that's the biggest issue we're experiencing right now that needs to be addressed. You know, we have our phones, we have access to everything on our fingertips, quite literally. And so to be ignorant, we have no excuse anymore, because you can search anything on Google. And so I would say that's the biggest issue we're seeing right now in contemporary society that I hope will change in the future.
What is the biggest problem we are facing today, and how can we solve the problem?
Treat each other the way you want to be treated. This was the golden rule my dad would always say to me growing up. And it really stuck with me, because then when you say something, or when you want to say something, you almost think, how would I feel if I heard that or someone said that to me? And so it makes us more mindful about how we treat other people. I think that's extremely important, especially in today's society where a lot of issues are being brought up, whether it's Black Lives Matter, Stop Asian Hate, Roe versus Wade, the shooting that happened yesterday in Illinois. Treat each other the way you want to be treated. That is the golden rule.
What are your thoughts on global warming, and how have you, from your side, done your bit to mitigate global warming?
So global warming, I think, is an important issue for everyone to mindful of and be aware of. I think obviously wanting to reach net zero in terms of our carbon footprint is the goal. However, how we've lived our lifestyles for so long, it makes it very hard to achieve that. And so making sure my air cons are off as soon as I leave the room. I wish I could just not use AC, but Thailand is too hot. So trying to be mindful with that, using the fan when I can, because I know that it's more eco-friendly, as well as turning lights off when you leave the room. That's something my mom, I feel like every Asian parent drills that in our minds at a very young age. Turn off the lights, turn off the light. Like, maybe it's not for environmental reasons. Maybe it's because they don't want an expensive electric bill. That's something I would say I've been doing as well, making sure we recycle properly. I know in Thailand, it's kind of hard to recycle, but there are ways to do it. And there are companies that do recycle. And so that's something me and my family are very passionate about.
If you had a chance to discuss a social issue with the world leaders of today, what social issue would it be?
Because as someone who is a person of color, racial equality and making sure there's representation in the media, making sure racism and bigotry does not exist anymore is something I'm extremely passionate about. Second of all, women empowerment. I am a design manager here in Thailand at Connecting Founders, which is a company that helps integrate diversity and inclusion in the workplace. And so making sure that more women are starting their own companies, being women CEOs, having that representation of women leadership positions. Because right now, Asian countries, I think it's 37% of women have leadership roles. And while that's better than most countries, it's still not equal. And so that's the second thing I would want to talk about. And lastly, LGBTQIA, because the community is something I hold very dear to my heart. My sibling is pansexual and non-binary, and hearing the discrimination and the stigmatism that they've received from living here in Thailand, from living in New York, it's something I think just shouldn't exist, because love is love at the end of the day. Love is what we all want to achieve at the end of the day. We should be celebrating that. I don't understand why it's wrong. And so those would be the three things I would like to talk to world leaders about.
According to you, Nikki, what is the best way to promote women empowerment?
I think using our platforms when we can as much as possible is something that's super important. Like, I have a highlight reel on my Instagram where I show my designs talking about how we can empower more women, especially in the business place. And I think too, going back to treating each other the way we want to be treated, empowered women empower women, and empowered people can empower women. And so making sure that we're always there to help bring light to the discrepancies that still exist, especially in the workplace, whether it's, at a company or even outside the office too. Street harassment, obviously there is street harassment from both ends, but I know that for a lot of women, myself included, I've been followed walking home from work. I've been followed walking home from school. I've been catcalled. It just needs to stop. And I think it starts through education, talking about it, in school, while I think subjects are great to be learning, whether it's math, chemistry, arts, we also need to have classes on how to treat one another, because at the end of the day, that's a social skill that is so important for post-education life. So that's what I would say.
What is the essence of being a woman?
The essence of being a woman is someone who is confident, smart, and someone who can do it all. You know, if they want to be a tomboy, they can. If they want to be a beauty queen, they can. I was a tomboy growing up. I didn't wear a dress until I was 10. Fun fact, I refused. I think the essence of being a woman is allowing that definition to be whatever you want and letting that stick. I think that there are no limits and there's no boundaries to what is the definition of a woman, just as the same as there's no stereotypical definition of a man. You know, as we've talked about, like I have a lot of friends who are feminine, masculine. It doesn't apply. It's a spectrum, in my opinion. Being yourself, whether you're a woman or a man, that's the essence of you. When you're yourself and when you're mindful and when you're genuine, that's when you're the essence of yourself.
Last but not the least, Nikki, I have one final question for you. And the final question is, why should you be Miss Universe Thailand?
Growing up in different cultures and experiencing different cultures firsthand, I think that I'm very open-minded and aware of a lot of issues that are going on right now, as well as through my work experience. I think having that understanding of how the world works, where we need to be and where we are right now, and what we can do to kind of achieve global goals is something I'm very aware of. Community service is something that's really important to me, as well as working with those who've been marginalized, whether it's creators, whether it's people of color, whether it's communities that aren't represented properly in the media. These are all issues that I've hoped I've shown you how passionate I am about, that I want to bring to the Miss Universe stage and help change. I don't just want to talk about these things. I want to actually make change happen.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for doing this interview with me. I had such a great time talking to you and get to know a little bit more about you and your background and your qualification. And I think you're such a great person with so much achievements and so much to offer to the Miss Universe pageant. I wish you all the best. In the end, do you have any message that you would like to give to your supporters, your fans who have been supporting you throughout your journey towards Miss Universe Thailand?
Say thank you to everyone for the support you've given me so far throughout this journey. It means a lot, and it gives me reminders every day that I'm doing the best that I can and that I should be here and that I deserve to be here. So your support means the world to me. And I would say too, like I said earlier in this interview, stay curious. If there's something that you want to do, if there's something you want to try, whether it's in the arts, whether it's in sports, whether it's vlogging, there's so many different things that people have said you shouldn't do because it's not going to give you income. But if it's going to make you happy, if it's going to provide you joy, nothing else matters. And so keep staying curious, keep trying new things, and keep doing what makes you happy.
Same here. I had such a great time talking to you about different topics and subjects. I truly enjoyed our conversation. In the end, can you talk about your social media platforms? So where can our viewers find you on social media?
My social media handle is Nikki Kesari. So at NIKKIKESSARI. So that's for Instagram, for Facebook, for Twitter, for TikTok.
Make sure to support her on her journey towards Miss Universe Thailand 2022.
Susu.
Saying that, this is your admin George from Pageant Empress. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys once again in my next video. Bye from admin George. Bye bye.